Hello and welcome to my very first ever Hero Forge mini review. If you clicked on this video, it probably means that you are to some degree curious about not only minis, but specifically 3D printed custom minis. In this case, we're going to be looking at Hero Forge, and more specifically, we're going to be looking at color plastic mini figures, okay? So, a little bit of an introduction. This is my very first time ever entering the world of minis. I've never done this before. So, for example, 2 years ago, I started playing Dungeons and Dragons. And I noticed that there are times where obviously, when you're fighting and you can use objects to represent yourself in the fight. And I always thought like, ooh, wouldn't it be cool to represent yourself or create a custom mini, right? So I had this thought, eating away in my brain for years. And last month, I decided to look into it, right? So I Googled, create yourself custom mini 3D print, something like that. I do not remember. And the thing is, Hero Forge popped up. Hero Forge was the very first website to show up. I know after looking for a month that there are other websites like Eldritch Foundry, but in my case, I stick with Hero Forge. There are people, for example, that think Eldritch Foundry is better because Hero Forge looks a bit more cartoony. Personally, in my case, I don't care. As long as what you are creating looks exactly like what you want. So in my case, I want to represent myself. Hero Forge was the better option for me. So, how does the mini look? Well, first of all, I'm going to, as you can see, this is the version I did on the website. This is exactly what I made, and it looks great. For example, don't worry, you're going to look at the mini soon. Now, something I did going in before purchasing the mini, I looked at videos, I looked at other reviews. So I made sure to make it as the best that it can be. This isn't my best mini because, for example, I've made more minis now that I've, played into it. But this was my first mini. So, something I took into account, something that I did. I picked basic colors that would be easily distinguishable for visual clarity. Because, that is something that a lot of video game developers like to say a lot, and they throw a lot. Oh, visual clarity. Make sure everybody can see. Make sure every detail is visible, right? So that's what I did. I went for very basic colors that when printed would still be visible. Because when you do the color plastic option, apparently the colors are muted, and that tends to be the case. Okay? So, for example, the only flashy color I have is orange, and I can see the orange. It looks great. Now, how does the mini look in real life? Well, here's first of all a 360 degree of how the mini looks, and then I'll give you a closer look at the mini figure. So, here is the mini in question. As you can see, it is exactly 100% what I ordered. Not only I am happy, I am content, I am ecstatic. I'm excited. Now, as you can see, the colors are muted, right? The steel doesn't look like steel. The browns are a little bit, they're brown, but it's a little bit lighter. The beige and all that, the black. The glasses look a little bit chunky, but you can see the glasses. You can even see the nose in detail, It's great. It's perfect. Now, like I said before, this is my very first time in the world of minis. I don't know how to paint. I've never painted minis. I don't know anything. So, I also did the math. Obviously, if you buy the normal plastic or the premium plastic, the mini is cheaper and the surface area is smoother. So, for example, if I get close, you can see that the surface area of the mini is a bit rough, right? Like you can see the lines, it's not smooth, it's a bit rough. For example, you can see it a lot better in the base. There we go. 1 second, sorry. Let me get the reflect. Aha, see, you see the surface area is not that smooth. And it's like that across the Mini. However, so, like I said before, this is my very first time entering the world of Minis. I don't know how to paint. I don't even have the materials or tools like brushes, pins, colors. So, considering that, purchasing the colored plastic with shipping, everything included, the price would have been exactly the same. Now, if you are an enthusiast, if you have painted before and you have colors and you have brushes, don't get the colored plastic. Just get the regular plastic or the premium plastic, because the surface is smooth. It's a bit more detailed. But if you're like me, that's brand new to this hobby, colored plastic is worth it. Okay? If you have never colored in your life, ever, if you have never done this, colored plastic is a good option. Okay? Sorry for my big fat thumbs, but anyway, colored plastic is a good option. And here's the thing, when you're gonna play, you're not gonna be like my phone at the moment. You're not gonna be this close. Obviously, you want to admire the Mini, but you're not gonna be this close. When you're gonna play, you're gonna be like here, right? Sorry for the zoom. There you go. You're gonna be this distance, and from this distance, the Mini looks fantastic. It looks amazing. It looks great, right? Look at that. It looks great. You can see everything. You can see the colors. Visual clarity is 100%. So, taking that into account, would I recommend Hero Forge color plastic? Yes and no, for very clear reasons. If you are like me, if you are a complete noob, if you're a novice, if you're a newbie, if you have never in your life purchased a Mini, painted a Mini, nor have the tools to paint a Mini, nor want to pay the extras for a single Mini, color plastic does the job. This is advertised for tabletop ready. This is literally tabletop ready. Now, if you are an enthusiast, if you are a professional, if you have dozens of Warhammer Minis or fantasy Minis or whatever the case may be, but for example, if you play Warhammer 40,000 and you have Space Marines or you have Chaos, if you have very difficult Minis to paint and you paint them, then obviously color plastic is not worth it. Not only because it's more expensive, it looks rough. But again, from a distance, it looks great, right? So, if you're like me, if you're a noob, color plastic is great. And as a gift, if you want to, for example, if you want to create yourself, if you want to immortalize yourself, or you want to make a special gift, whatever the case may be, to justify the purchase, like, I'm happy. I'm 100% happy. This is fantastic. This is great. Like, I would do this again. Maybe a different Mini, but I would definitely not only buy brushes and everything, but I would do it again.